Welcome back to the channel, and as they call me the burrito monster, I call me the burrito monster. Today we're doing a burrito video. 3 different burritos, a British burrito, an Indian burrito, and obviously a Mexican burrito, and see which country makes the best burritos. Are you not entertained? Is this not why you're here? Woo! Because we're going full British mode right now, need to get a nice big hunk of lard, melted and sizzling, and we're going to use that to cook all of our different bits and bobs. I've actually parboiled my spuds already, because it's basically boiling them for 15 minutes, letting them steam dry and shaking them up to fluff them in their own potatoiness. Safety first, guys. What we do in life echoes in eternity. While these are still nice and al dente, I'll pull them out of the water. They need about 5 minutes or so. Flaming lard. And on with our roast potatoes. A nice little bit of smoky, flaky salt going on top too. It's nice leftover boiling water from the carrots and parsnips that I used to make a little batch of stuffing with this. Once that's cooled down a little bit, I'm going to mix through, boil it up and make these nice little sausage meat stuffing balls. Bare sausages hanging around. I'm going to now cut these into the individual little chipolatas, wrapped all the way around. And I'll repeat that for the rest of these little mini sausages as well. And I've actually been sous videing a pork shoulder for about 12 hours at 76, 77 degrees centigrade. Basically, to the point where it's cooked through but not super fall apart, and that it should still hold its shape. But we're going to finish it off now in the oven. Get a nice crisp up on the crackling and hopefully get a nice pull apart tender pork. Just like so. And you need to be careful here because there's lots of liquid in there. We don't want to spill it all over my feet. Now, just like so. Plonk this in the middle. It's going to look a lot prettier once we've actually roasted and crisped up that crackling. Wash this in there to finish it off. The thing we need to wrap it in, the Yorkshire pudding. Super simple to make, don't be afraid of Yorkshire puddings. It's all about volumes. So we've got 3 cups of even size and our 4th egg. And now the game is to basically fill these other 2 cups to the same level with milk and flour. Get a bowl, get a whisk, and give that a proper whisk in. Clarified butter, so it doesn't smoke the same way normal butter does. It's a nice fat to use for Yorkshire pudding, so get a nice big spoon of ghee going in. I'm going to keep our Yorkshire pudding batter in the fridge while we get this hot in the oven for about 15 minutes, get it ripping hot, ready to go. I'll get my stuffing mix out of this bowl, just like so. Grab one, roll it up, sausage meat stuffing bowl. And then I'll just drop all these into the fryer to get them nice crispy and golden. Before we pour over a nice little cheddar cheese sauce to make a Burrito flour cheese. A little bit of cheddar and a little bit of red Leicester too. And just like so. And while we let the pork rest, I'm gonna get all the carrots and parsnips picked out of the tray. Stick them all on here, finish off. Rings away from our pork. I'm actually going to pull away this fat because I've got a plan of how we're going to use this fat later. And this meat should just shred to bits. I'm finishing off with a bit of salt just to season the inside of that meat. So now it's all cooked. We've got our Yorkshire pudding, we've got our honey mustard glazed carrots, we've got our cheesy broccoli, roast potatoes, nice and juicy tender pulled pork, sausage meat stuffing ball, pigs in blankets, and a nice crispy piece of crackling. Be amount of gravy. Let's help me wrap this up nice and tight, just like so, into our Yorkshire pudding burrito. Next up, we've got our Indian burrito. I'm sort of kind of going for sort of popcorn chicken kind of style. And now I've got a nice little cubes of chicken. I'm gonna grate over some garlic, ginger, and Scotch bonnets. And then a cheeky squeeze of lime. And then a bit of bicarb to help tenderize it. I think it's called velveting in Chinese cooking and takeaway stuff. It basically means the meat absorbs and holds way more moisture. And you basically get juicier meat that's way more tender and way more succulent. So yeah, a combination of a bit of acid and a bit of bicarb, some chemistry goes on and gives you really nice, juicy meat. It's foaming up while it reacts with the lime juice. And this is gonna get that chicken really, really tender. along with a little bit of biryani masala. It smells so good. Said goodbye with words I died 100 times. And then we got some cheeky naan dough, which is basically flour, salt, water, yeast, which is basic bread, plus yogurt and nigella seeds. Nigella seeds give it a really like nutty flavour, and the yogurt makes it super creamy and moist. Coating it in that flour on all sides. We want it as big as possible to get as much as we can in our burrito. So I'm gonna try and make it 14 plus inches. Just like so. And then onto our peel. Make a cheeky little mint sauce. So I've got some garlic, I've got some lime, cut that in half, a little handful of coriander, and a few fresh mint leaves as well. A little pinch of salt. Pour in our mint mix. So we've got a nice little cubes of biryani popcorn chicken kind of bites, which we're going to turn into popcorn chicken biryani bites. What we need is we need a mix of different flours. A little bit of corn flour helps it keep its crispiness for a lot longer. Some sort of corn flour or potato starch, do you think? It really retains that crispiness because plain flour goes soggy quite quickly. Neither does gram flour either. They all kind of, none of them retain their crispiness very well. So always get either potato starch or corn flour or rice flour, something like that that really holds its crispiness. Curry powder. And of course, we'll refry off all of our popcorn chicken to get this nice and crispy again. And I got a little bit of rice out of the freezer, so I like to batch cook this. It's aged long grain basmati that I get from my local Indian supermarket. Basically, wash it through thoroughly, massive pan of boiling water with way too much water than you need for about 6 or 7 minutes, just less than 7 I would say. Then drain it, put it back in the pan, lid on with a napkin just underneath the lid. It will steam dry for like 10 minutes and you'll get nice semi al dente rice, which is when you microwave it, it then hydrates to the right level. So when you microwave it for like out the freezer, 3 minutes in the microwave, you get perfect rice every time. And to that, I'm just gonna add a little bit of chopped up coriander to bring it to life with a nice bit of flavour. Nice squeeze of lime. Cheeky naan. We've got some of our popcorn chicken in a bowl with a bit of vindaloo sauce. Make sure they're all coated, just like so. Load our naan, a little bit of that rice, pushing the rice a little bit out to the sides because it's going to contain all of our fillings, stop them leaking out. Some of our crispy biryani popcorn chicken vindaloo, bit of a mouthful, not as much of a delicious mouthful as it's going to be in a second. A few of our crispy onions, zingy slaw. I've got this in the fridge at all times. It's shredded cabbage, carrot, onion, coriander, lime juice, salt, a bit of sumac, a bit of sugar sometimes or honey. Ready to go. I'll have it for most of my meals these days. I think we are then good to go. So fold the sides in, press them down, wrap this across the burrito, and then use the paper to help roll this up now, tucking this underneath, up, just like so, pinching the ends and squeezing it all in, nice and neat. And now finally we're onto the Mexican burrito. It's September weather right now, and it's suddenly it's glorious sunshine, then it's grey rain clouds. So what we've got over here, we've got this slow cooked birria lamb. Cut back to how we made it now. This should completely fall off the bone. Oh. These bones take no effort. It's still quite hot, but I'm gonna go in for it. You so far. Ollie, I thought this was a burrito episode. Where are the wraps? Now we're on to the Mexican section. We are finally using actual wraps rather than making our own. I'm gonna go through and try and find the biggest one in the pack. Same rice as we used for the Indian one, but work smarter, not harder. It works in both cuisines, like coriander, lime, very present in both Mexican and Indian cuisine. Birria lamb going in too, so we'll plonk that all right on top. Of course, we've got to grate a healthy amount of cheese on top as well. Again, we don't have Oaxaca cheese, which is what you'd normally like to use in birria, but I find a mixture of mozzarella for the melty gooiness, along with a nice flavoursome cheese, does the job as well. And I think red Leicester adds a really nice flavour and colour into your birria burrito. So get a nice amount of mozzarella going on and a lovely little twangy flavour. It's proper aged red Leicester, this stuff. A Scotch bonnet salsa I made a few days ago, 2 days ago it was. When you make Scotch bonnet salsa, It's super spicy at first, but if you leave it in the fridge for like 2 days, it really mellows out and you get a nice even rounded flavour. I'm also going to go on with a few smoky mole beans, or mole, basically chili chocolate stew with black-eyed beans in too. Wrap it around. Oh, it's a big boy. Not too big for me though. Rolling it up into a burrito with a little bit of leakage, into a pan to seal it. Apparently I've lost the ability to use a lighter. That's what happens when you don't smoke, guys. You're not very good at lightering, so you don't look as cool in videos when you need to use a lighter. I'll tell you what's cooler than being able to use a lighter, being able to use a pizza oven. Now this is how it's done when the lighter isn't working. While that sits for a minute, I'm gonna make a quick guacamole. And you know what? I've never actually put MSG in guac before, and I don't see why it wouldn't be nice, so MSG. We'll carefully slice this right open. And it's time to see how our birria lamb burrito compares to our British and Indian burrito. Cheeky dunk in that birria broth. Get a look at that. Let's have a taste. It is a classic. And now it's ready to get sliced right open into an absolutely unreal crispy popcorn chicken tandoori vindaloo burrito with a cheesy garlic naan. Not actually a cheesy naan, just a garlic naan. Peel back a little bit of this paper to reveal some of that cheeky naan. There you go. Let's have a taste of this then, shall we? Yes, this is phenomenal. Roast potatoes, we've got our pulled pork, pig in blanket, we've got carrot, broccoli, a little bit of stuffing I think in there. Everything is visible, everything's tasty. Now we're ready to get stuck in. Woo! Actually, this one was made 2 hours ago, this one was made 1 hour ago, this one was made just now. So naturally they've gone a little bit cold, but the British one, when it was fresh and it was cut, was the best iteration of British cuisine compared to how that was of Indian and that was of Mexican, if that makes sense. So that's why the British one today takes the cake, but next time, probably Indian will win, because Indian will win most of them because it is the best cuisine. But today, the British one takes the cake. Anyway, hope you enjoyed this video. Thanks for sticking around for this long, watching me make 3 obscene, silly, crazy burritos. They were all absolutely gorgeous, and they're gonna get wrapped up in foil, and they'll be my tea tonight and cameraman's tea tonight. But please come back for the next one. We're gonna do weird food challenges and creations and all around the world in various Scotch eggs and burritos and Wellingtons and pizzas and burgers, and come back basically is what I'm saying. Thanks for watching. Have a good one. Cheers.